And Phil.
And Tucker.
And Tucker. Jasper.
It's hello. Where?
My 2-year-old asked me what my favorite animal was, and I froze. Not in a dramatic way, just long enough to realize I wasn't even sure if I had an answer. I could easily name hers. Right now, she loves bears. Previously, it was dogs. I could name my husband's. He's always loved lions. But when it came to me, my mind started spiraling. Are we talking about animals like pets to have in real life, or just animals that you look at? Because bears are cute, but in real life, it's not like I'd run up to one. Golden retrievers are adorable, but is that really my answer? Or maybe the answer was simpler than I wanted it to be. Maybe I just don't have one. And where my mind went next surprised me. Maybe this was another quiet example of the ways you lose pieces of yourself when you become a mom. Over the last year, I have drawn, painted, and colored more bears in my life than I ever have before. And before that, I had painted lions. A lot of lions. When I was dating Mark, now my husband, I painted a lion for my art final. 12 hours of work, and I gave it to him as a Christmas gift. And after that, I just kept painting them. I have a whole collection. But here's the thing, I hadn't painted a lion in over a year, and I didn't even realize that until that question stopped me. Somewhere along the way, my preferences slowly merged with the people that I love. And while that's beautiful and sweet, it can also make it hard to tell where I end and others begin. So I decided to paint a lion again. Maybe it was a callback to my roots, maybe it was an ode to my husband, or maybe it was just curiosity asking to be followed. My father-in-law had came over to paint, and he brought these like huge canvases, and we just got bold. We both were like, let's do an underpainting, and started slapping the paints away, and we just kept going. And we wanted thick texture underneath. We both were just warming up. And then suddenly we were like in the zone. And at some point I randomly thought it would be a good idea to challenge myself to only paint a lion with a palette knife. No control, no fine lines, just trust. Later, after that paint session, I came back to the piece myself and I realized a couple things. When you don't practice something for a while, you kind of lose it. My proportions were way off and I could see it very clearly now. It was not my best painting. But I also noticed something else. I did really love the texture, the boldness of the underpainting, the way that you could see the paint thickness. We had used acrylic, which is fast and forgiving and very honest with where you slap it down. So instead of scrapping the whole painting, I took another swing at it. Still bold, but this time not as reckless. I put the palette knife down and picked up a brush. I actually looked at a photo for reference this time, and I slowed down and adjusted the proportions. It wasn't about starting over. It was about refining what was already there. And it must have been a couple days later, it was a Sunday between church services, that I just had this random thought to look up facts about lions, not for content, not for any other reason, just because, maybe call it the Holy Spirit intuition in me. But here's what I learned. Lions live in prides, usually 5 or 6 females and a couple males, and all of their cubs live with them. And immediately I thought, yeah, that's a parallel for us, how we are meant to live together, especially as women and especially as moms. Another fact is that lionesses hunt together and they gather and they provide. And I thought, how similar, again, is that for moms? We share recipes, we talk about meal plans, we tell each other, share with each other ways to get toddlers to actually eat their darn food. Another fact about lions is that they rest, like a lot, something between 16 and 20 hours a day. Not because they're lazy, but because they observe. And they technically don't have a ton of sweat glands, which reminded me of my husband. He is reflective, very measured, patient, and present. Another fact is that lionesses are attentive mothers. They're fiercely protective and they're playful and nurturing with their little cubs, and they raise them together, like I said. They teach them, they watch over them, and they defend them. Lions and lionesses are a symbol of strength and courage. And I think while writing this, it all made sense to me. Just like the painting, maybe I hadn't lost myself. Maybe I was just out of practice. And maybe returning doesn't mean being perfect. It means being willing to look again, adjust, and keep going. It reminds me of the verse in Isaiah, "For I'm about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create rivers in the dry wasteland." Maybe a lioness is my favorite animal, not because I choose it, but because I recognize myself in it. Maybe it's not that I'm losing myself. Maybe it's an invitation to return and discover a new layer of myself. Giving myself room to lean into what needs practice and what needs refinement and improvement. And sometimes it takes a child's simple question or a half-finished painting to invite us back into ourselves. Not to who we were, but to who we're becoming.